Good afternoon, thank you for coming. Today we are very lucky to have been joined by four people in the consulting industry. We have today with us Aashish Chheda. Aashish works for KPMG. He's worked as a consultant for 6 years, and for the last year he's been with KPMG and their Information Technology Advisory Services division. He graduated from Baruch in 2008. Next to him is Eric Powers. Eric Powers is a small business consulting and nonprofit consultant who operates under the name Powers Consulting. He graduated from Baruch in 2009 with concentrations in entrepreneurship. And we have Roshan Robert, who's with us here on the left. He was a full-time MBA. 2009 he graduated last year. Prior to coming to Baruch, he's a telecom engineer. And he has interned at Schlossberg Flynn and at Morgan Stanley, and he's currently accepted a full-time offer at PricewaterhouseCoopers. And next to him is Jennifer Sigler. She is marketing director for the TIE Group, which is an organizational performance consultancy. She graduated here from 2007 with an MBA in industrial organizational psychology, and she has experience as a business analyst for a third-party software company in the securities industry. So let's give them all a hand. And Dr. Banai will
be... Okay, welcome to the meeting. I'm very happy to see all of you here. And what we're going to do, I'm going to ask these representative of the industry to present themselves and the business, the position, and so on. And if you have any urgent question, you can break at any time. But if you don't have very urgent questions, just hold it back till they, describe what they have to talk about, and then we'll leave enough time for question and answers, and then we'll leave enough time for meeting with the consultants and talking to them in person. Okay? So welcome. I'm very happy to see you here. Thank you for coming. I would like to go from left to right and then right to left, and to ask you first if you could describe your position, your company, your position. Please. We'll start with Roshan.
Hello, I'm Roshan Robert. I graduated from the full-time honors MBA in 2009. I work for PricewaterhouseCoopers now. We're known as an accounting firm, but we have there's a bunch of different things that we do. And I work for the group called Assurance and Business Advisory Services within the financial services practice. So my primary client is Goldman Sachs, and I do some work that is audit related and some that is advisory.
Jennifer, please.
My name is Jennifer Ziegler, and I work for the TAI Group, and we are a consulting firm that specializes in organizational development and team performance. So what we do is really work with individuals, executives, and leaders on their leadership, on their communication, on their presence. And I am the Director of Marketing and Strategy for the firm.
Hi, I'm Aashish, and I am an associate at KPMG in the IT Advisory Services practice. I have a small cheat sheet with me over here. Got used to that from school. So if I'm looking down, it's not that I'm sleeping. So at KPMG, my primary client is Citigroup, and I'm doing IT advisory for them, or some people call it IT audit. So I'm focusing on the derivatives operations of Citigroup and testing all the over-the-counter derivatives for them.
Eric Powers, and work with my own firm, Powers Consulting, and so I basically work freelance with what you call often VSBs, or very small businesses, businesses of under 10 employees, as well as startups and nonprofits of similar size, both startups and operating nonprofits. So I work primarily with strategy and operations. So on strategy, it could be business planning and strategic plans and helping to create mission statements. With operations, it's helping to figure out human and IT systems for these small companies and how they can better use technology and how they can create the best human and technical processes and systems to run.
Thank you. The next question I would like to ask you is if you could describe how did you get into what you're doing now? What did you have to go through? What did you have to do in order to get into your positions and in your jobs? Please start from that.
Sure. So I first worked with my first work in business was with a corporate event space. I worked as a salesperson and operations manager for 3 years at this company, and it was a startup. So I worked very closely with the owner and with 2 other employees, basically, to build this business and to find the first clients and to develop a reputation and to create all the different operation systems for this business so that it could go forward. I started to really love just love the idea of having to be a generalist, having to know a little bit of everything to run a small business. And I realized that most small business owners need the help of someone with some business knowledge, and because they are coming from more of a position of technical knowledge and not business knowledge necessarily. So I started to develop an interest in moving into consulting for entrepreneurs and consulting for small business owners. So I began my MBA part-time while I was working at that company, and then halfway through my MBA I left to work, start Powers Consulting and start my own consulting work while I finished the MBA. So it's really, it's kind of developed out of seeing firsthand what it's like being within a small business and having to, and all the issues and problems that a small business owner has to go through, and how planning can help an entrepreneur, that I wanted to do the same for others.
Well, I had a multi-stage process to land this job. I knew someone who worked in this company, and I really didn't know how to go to him and tell him as to I wanted to work for this firm, and I didn't know what to do. So I spoke to him. I just casually used to meet him, interact with him, and just very subtly I told him that I was interested to work at KPMG in the IT advisory practice, and he said fine, and he hooked me up with the recruiter. I went through the several rounds of interviews. The guy who interviewed me worked at the same firm for whom I'd interned, so that definitely helped me.